trying to rank on the first page of Etsy is a waste of time and money because the first page no longer exists. Hi guys, my name is Vlad. I'm the owner of TagPup. It is the #1 pet product store on Etsy in terms of daily sales. You can check with eRank. I'm also #1 and #2 on the keyword handmade dog collars on Amazon. So I know a thing or two about selling handmade goods on a marketplace. I've built a 7-figure business. So make sure to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification, because this is where I help you guys scale your Etsy shop, and I share with you guys all my tips and tricks that I have learned over the years of selling online. So what do I mean by saying the first page no longer exists? We used to have a very static page when we typed in keywords, right? If you're typing in personalized t-shirt, you're gonna get the listings that have the best reviews, have the best click-through rate, have the best another factor, right? And everybody would mostly get the best listings for that given keyword. Nowadays, it's a lot more dynamic and customized to each person separately. Each person has a history of the kind of preferences they like, the kind of products they're interested in, the kind of context that they're in. It's a lot more tailored to you as the individual. What do I mean by that? If I'm typing in personalized t-shirts, for a person that is getting ready for a wedding, let's say they've had history of buying wedding prep stuff or proposal gifts, they're going to have listings that will pop up under personalized t-shirts that are bridesmaids proposal t-shirts or bachelorette party personalized t-shirts, versus if I were to put personalized t-shirts, I would get just a lot more graphic heavy t-shirt that just look cool to wear on a day-to-day basis. So the algorithm will recognize what you are doing, who you are as a person, and tailor the keywords that you are typing in regards to what you might be interested in, for what reason are you on Etsy. Because it does that because the conversion rate is much higher. So that's very important that you understand that. And also, if you even notice that if you go under statistics, you will find that most of your traffic doesn't even come from search. Even though search is very dynamic, like I said, there's no longer a first page. It's tailored to each individual person. Etsy themselves brings more traffic to your shop through other parts of the app, right? From the app or suggested or recommended products. When a customer goes on the front screen, they don't even have to type in anything. Etsy already knows what they want, or at least tries to recognize what they want, and will push products to those customers. So the best thing that Etsy can do, its Etsy app can do, is to predict what you're wanting to look for, and the moment you open the app, if it can get it right off the bat, Etsy app will make more money, right? Essentially, and you want to be one of those products that is put in front of the right customers, essentially. So what do you do as a seller? How do you need to adapt? It's really important to understand your customers. A lot of times people try to search on YouTube tips to rank on the first page, which we know that's no longer a thing that you need to look for, or understanding the algorithm, trying to figure out the algorithm. Yes, there are elements of the algorithm that you should know and be aware of, but you need to spend more time studying your customers, because the algorithm will always change. But and maybe your customers will change too. But if you focus on your customers, then the algorithm will change to improve how you're presented for the right kind of customer, if that makes sense. Here's an example. So let's just say I'm selling personalized t-shirts, and if I find that the large majority of my competitors or my customers are searching for wedding invitations or wedding tables or proposal gifts, and if I see a large number of that, well, I should start creating my listings to fit that demographic of people. And that's, of course, if you're into that. If you're saying doing mom t-shirts and things like that, you might want to have a few listings that are tailored specifically to the bridal party. And so you might change the photography to look a lot more, wedding photography like. You might want to have more models in your photos or your listings. You want to include tags that relate to bridal party, bachelorette, along the lines of, or maybe even include colors like blush and things like that. So you need to tailor your listing around that customer, because what's going to happen is when a person that has researched for table signs, wedding invitation, that person is now categorized or indexed in a certain way. And when they buy your listing, Etsy recognizes that if another person that comes on the Etsy platform with those same attributes or the same history or type of person. It's called a lookalike audience. And when that person comes onto the platform, your listing has a higher chance to appear on that person, on that person's front screen. So it's important not to be generic, but it's important to niche down, or at least on some of your listings, you need to really specify what kind of customers do you have and how can you best tailor that listing to that customer. Because the next time a similar customer comes to the platform, you're going to be recommended more likely than your competitors that are very generic and trying to target a wider audience, which is not having anything specific in their listing. So hopefully that helps. Don't worry so much about learning about the algorithm. Learn about your customers and go on what they're favoring. Look at the photos that they are putting in the reviews, like what they've actually used the shirt for. If you see bridal party, photos, you're like, okay, that's what they're using it for. Go on Pinterest, go on Instagram, and find out what your product is being used for in most commonly. Then you can be ready with your product, and Etsy will index your product properly for the right lookalike audience. So if you like this video, make sure to leave a thumb. It's like a tip for YouTube, and I'll see you next time.